Wargamers, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Stos, and today we are back for another Let's Hobby. This is my video series where I show you what I've been working on and what I have been getting done. So, we are back. First video of 2022. I'm excited to be back. I hope you're excited to be here. And what have I been doing? I have been working on my Warhammer Fantasy Dwarfs army. I have cracked out a new unit. I've painted a new character, and I'm halfway through painting another character. It's on the way, but it's not quite done, but I'll show you all of that. I'm going to show you some stuff that I've got coming up for my Orcs and Goblins. It's fresh off eBay. I haven't even touched it yet, but I just want to show you what's on the way. And I've been doing a bunch of painting for my Necromunda gang, my Orlocks. A couple of new heroes, a new ganger, a new brute, ooh, spicy, and just like a character model that can be used for various scenarios, kind of like a scenario token piece. So yes, without any further ado, let's have a look at what I've been working on and what I've been getting done. Oh. Okay, and here is what I've been working on with my Warhammer Fantasy Dwarf army, and yes, as you can see, I have cracked out a unit of Slayers. Yes, I have done it. Oh man, I am so keen. I am so keen to get some Slayers on the field. They're so awesome. Who doesn't love Slayers? I don't know if they're actually any good. They're expensive, and they've got no armor, so they'll die real easy, but they're fighty, they're angry, they never run. I hope they do okay, but we'll see. So yes, this unit is from Avatars of War. They have made this wonderful Slayer alternative kit. They call them Dwarf Seekers. Yeah, and yeah, super cool kit, really nice variation in models and all that stuff. As you can see, they did their banner kind of different, or more so I did my banner different to theirs. It comes with this massive like dwarven statue, like the Slayer statue holding two ripped off heads of dragons, and it does look cool. I looked at it and was like, yeah, super cool, but it is massive. Like, it is so big, it dwarfs the unit. Dwarfs, but yeah, it was way too big for my taste, so I wanted to do something different. And yeah, it came with this other option. I'll pull this little guy out. An option of this this giant head. All right, this gnarly, hacked up giant head. And I was like, hell yeah, the book, the giant head, that's what I'll do. I'll do that. But the way that the giant head was supposed to be attacked, like the back of the neck here, it's running straight. Can I get you to focus? Come on. Running straight down the center of it, like that way. It was actually just a big divot. Like it was supposed to be pushed straight into the pole. Like you push the neck into the pole. And originally I was like, yeah, cool, no problem, that's how it attaches, that's fine. But then when I actually like put it on there and had a look, it had no bearing on reality as to how they attached this head to the pole, just with the neck pushed onto it. It was just like this huge head hanging forward off the pole. But I still wanted to use the head, so I sculpted that in a bit with green stuff. I filled the little channel with green stuff. I pushed it around. I made that little hunk of bone. I connected the runs of skin around the edges of the neck to, yeah, make it just look like this gross, gory neck stump. And then, yeah, drilled a hole in the bottom of the neck, shoved it down onto the post, and there it is. There is the goriest, most disgusting banner topper that you've ever seen. But I think it's very appropriate for a unit of Slayers. I like to think that, they get their latest kill and, slam it down on top of their banner. Yeah, so there it is. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, the little, you can see on the book there, like I painted those little runes on. I even went into the Dwarf Army book to find some legit runic symbols. And the one on the left is the Rune of Fury, and the one on the right is the Rune of Grudges, which I thought was appropriate for Slayers. They're furious, they've got grudges, furious grudge-wielding dudes, and there it is. Yeah, I painted these guys pretty simply. I used contrast. Oh boy, let's see if I can put this unit back together. I used contrast paint. Oh, it's all turned to hell. And we're back. It's like it never happened. But yes, I used contrast orange for the beards. I think it's Griffhound orange, which is just a wonderful orange to use. I've espoused the virtues of it before, because real orange, it sucks to paint with. If you've used it before, you know what I'm talking about. But contrast orange, God, it just goes on so clean, so smooth, one coat. I did then, I washed it with Ripened Flesh Shade to give it a little extra depth. And then gave it a little dry brush of Riser Rust, I think it is, which is just like a brush, like a really bright orange dry paint. I originally used Guilliman Flesh on all the flesh, but I just really didn't like the end result. It might be because I'm still pretty inexperienced with contrast, but it came out super splotchy. Just not how I like flesh to go, so I ended up going over it again with your classic Cadian Flesh, washing it, re-highlighting it, and there it is. I did, however, I left the Guilliman Flesh on the what is that thing? The giant head on top, because I thought that makes sense that that's all splotchy and gross, because it's dead. I was super stressed out about doing their tattoos. I'm not big on freehand. It's not something I've done a whole lot of, and I just spent a whole bunch of time like doing the flesh like twice essentially. And so to go in and maybe ruin it with tattoos, it stressed me out. But in the end, I just went for it, going like basic swirls and zigzags. It's actually not showing up on camera as nice as I would have liked, which is just gutting, because I actually went back after putting it on there. I thought it was standing out a little too starkly, like it looked more like war paint than tattoos. So I was like, yeah, I'll do a light glaze of Cadian Flesh over the top of all of them, and that will make it look like it's set in the flesh a little bit more. And it looks fantastic in person. It really looks, it did the exact effect that I wanted it, but on camera, they're a little bit faded, more so than I would like, so that's sad. But trust me, they look great in person. But there they are my latest addition, a whole unit of Slayers. Super keen. This is such a great kit. Like, it's all plastic. It was pretty finicky to put together, with all the hands come separate from the arms, and you really have to get quite careful and creative with your poses. Well, I guess there's a lot of arms in the air, but just trying to get them on there so that they rank up all right was a bit of a challenge. And even so, with the amount of time that I spent, there's still times when I'll put a guy next to a guy and I'm like, nope, that one doesn't fit. Let's find the next puzzle piece. But there's some great alternative hands. You can see this guy at the front is doing a little bit of a little Rudy there. We've got this guy in the back here who's like holding a little tankard, which is pretty sweet. The leader with his orc head. Yeah, just a really cool alternative Slayer kit. Because Games Workshop never actually updated the Slayer models, and these are far, far better. So there they are, the latest addition to the Dwarves. And then moving on, we have got this bad boy. I finally got one. I got this classic old metal Dwarf Battle Standard Bearer. This is by far my favorite Battle Standard Bearer. I like it much more than the new sculpt with the banner, instead of this, like, I don't know, kind of like totem pole with the book. Yeah, this is... It brings back the memories, right? This is the one I used. It's the one in the 6th edition Dwarf book. It looks so cool. I always love this model with his outrageous beard that he's tied to the base of the banner, so that it'll never leave him. It's always with him. Yeah, and I've just done him to match the army, the gold. I can't remember the name of the gold, and then Balthazar gold for the bronze, Warpstone green for the green, and then Moot green for the highlights. I used the contrast apothecary white for the beard to give it a bit more definition, that's one of the great ones. You're doing white, apothecary white, man, sorts it out. But yes, I love this model, and I'm so stoked to have finally gotten one. They are so expensive on eBay, and I finally bit the bullet, found one that was a reasonable price, and I got him. Here he is. He's got a sweet little pipe and a tankard on the back. No weapons, not a single weapon, mind you, but he's come ready to chill. Have a drink, have a smoke. He's got his wonderful, boar head helmet that he's got in the crook of his arm. Man, love it. Super stoked to finally have one of these. No longer will I be proxying my Ironbreaker standard bearer as my BSB. I've got a real one. Hell yeah, there he is. And then the hero that is not yet finished. Yes, it is the Dragon Slayer or Demon Slayer, the hero level Slayer model. And it's again one of those super old metal sculpts, and it is a beauty. Look at him, he's like 80% face. Oh my god, so cool. His little belly out, massive axe. What an awesome sculpt. Yeah, same thing. He's just base coated at this point. He's just got the contrast orange, Cadian flesh tone, the contrast green. I can't remember what the contrast green is. And so yeah, he just needs some washes, some highlights, and he is ready to lead the unit. Again, I don't know if they're any good because they're just toughness 4 and they've got no armor or save of any kind. Originally, I was thinking, yeah, look, I'll just give him like a runic talisman and give him a ward save and he'll be a beast. But you can't. In 6th edition, all you can do is give him runic weapons. So the best I can do is give him a rune on his weapon so he always strikes first, so that even when he gets charged, he'll have a chance to maybe put something down before he just gets murked. But regardless of how good he is, I want to bring him. I want to do it. Him leading that unit of Slayers, it's going to be sweet. It's going to be super epic, and that's why it's happening. Rule of cool, people. Rule of cool, that's where it's at. And so yes, that is what I'm going to be adding to my dwarves in the short term. And then here is what is coming soon for the orcs. I got a couple of these orc boar chariots off eBay. So yeah, and this one is a mess. It has got caked on paint all over it. The build is pretty weird. They've put like extra tusks like on the back of them, maybe to look like, I don't know, extra fittings. There's a bunch of weird chaos bits on the bases and the head there on the thing. It's like gooped on all around. It's gonna be tough. This one's gonna have to be stripped. I'm gonna try and clip away those things or just leave it and somehow incorporate it. This one's gonna take a bit of work to get to where it needs to be. This one, however, is actually in great condition. It got a little banged up in the transport. Some of it needs to be re-glued, but all the bits are there and it's just been nicely primed white. Just needs to be clipped off this big, ridiculous circular base. But aside from that, she's a good one. She just needs a paint and boom, hell yeah. So yeah, they'll be getting added to the orc and goblin list. I've got a bunch of other things to add, but I think these will be the first things that I get ready and paint up because chariots are super cool. There's something super orky about, trundling wheels being pulled by pigs with sharp stabby bits. I don't know, I like it. I think it fits. It really fits. It's my version of orcs for sure. And that is it. That is what is getting done for my Warhammer Fantasy armies, dwarves, and orcs and goblins. And here is what we've been doing with Necromunda, with my Orlock gang and sundry other bits and bobs. So we've got a new ganger, Shank. I'm running him with a power knife and a stub pistol with dum-dums. Power knives, they're so sweet. And because, knives are dime a dozen in the Orlock kit, if you got the creds, power knives are the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, I paint my Orlock super simple. I start with a Zenithal Prime, which I honestly do that with everything these days because I can. And then I just dry brush all of the black with 3 stages of grey: dark grey, mid grey, light grey, in lighter and lighter passes to give it that rough, leathery look. It's super easy and it comes out looking really nice. Quick, easy, and good aesthetic. That is honestly kind of my mode for painting. And then, yeah, everything else is pretty obvious. Lead Belcher for the weapons, washed with Agrax Earthshade. Get Scrag Brown, water it down, push it into all of the little, joining bits to give it that rusty feel. Nice khaki shirts is what I go with, which is just Xandri Dust. Washed with Agrax Earthshade, re-highlighted with Xandri Dust, and then a fine highlight on the very raised edges with Ushabti Bone, Ushabti. Yeah, and that's how I do my Orlocks. Quick, simple, nice and easy, and I like them. I think they look good. This guy has been added to the gang. Brutus, my best boy Brutus. Look at him. I love these models. God, they're good. Again, are they that great? No, they're quite expensive and they don't do super great. But who cares, man? I'm at a point in the campaign where I got creds to spare and I got these models, and who doesn't want to add a pup, a good boy to the gang? I used some contrast again with these guys. I mixed Black Templar and one of the like super dark blues because I didn't want it to just be black for the fur. I wanted a tint of blue. Maybe went a little heavy on the blue. It's slightly more blue than I wanted, but in the end, I'm still pretty happy with it. Same thing then, just dry brushed it with a couple of layers of gray. I went with the box art in terms of the kind of dog, you know, the kind of brown muzzle, little chest bits and legs. I have no idea what breed of dog that is, but it's your kind of classic like fighting pit dog kind of thing that you'll see in movies like Snatch and stuff, I think. But yes, there it is. That is Brutus. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's coming out of recovery for next gang. And then we've got a couple of champs that have been added. We have Cliff One-Shot Booth with a grenade launcher, because grenade launchers are amazing. Template weapons in general are all just fantastic, so why not put a champ in there? He's been done the same way. The only thing that's really different is I chucked a little extra like grenade belt on him there to just really double down on the explosive theme. And yeah, there he is, Cliff One-Shot Booth. And then lastly, for the Orlock gang peeps, we have Joe Deadeye's Cabo, which I did a bit of a conversion because I didn't have the Orlock upgrade sprue at the time. So I just grabbed a Chaos Heavy Bolter that I had and, snipped and cut and made it fit, and I think it looks freaking sweet. Yeah, so Heavy Bolter for the Orlocks, why not? Heavy munitions. So yeah, Joe Deadeye's Cabo is his name, and in his first game, he went out of action and sustained an eye injury, and I immediately bought him a bionic eye, and as you can see, he's modeled with a bionic eye. Man, this thing I love about Necromunda, the little stories as little gangers, progress or get worse, or the little things, and he, I named him Deadeyes, and he immediately lived up to his nickname. Like, what a beast. And there he is. And then finally, my Ambot, my big broody boy. Hell yeah, so cool. I painted this guy again, Zenithal Prime, and then sprayed, I think it's Iyanden Yellow, the yellow contrast paint through my airbrush. First time trying to put contrast through an airbrush with interesting results. I originally wanted him to just kind of be mainly yellow, and I kind of hit one area a little too heavy and immediately turned it orange, and I was like, oh, I can't really just have one bit of it orange. Okay, so that's what happens when I build it up a little too heavy, and then just kind of had to commit and went in for the orange and just kind of left a little bit of yellow as highlights here and there. I am actually still really happy with the result in the end. I think he looks pretty cool. But yeah, it's the learning process. You give things a try, and yeah, you adapt. Now, this guy has not done very well in the campaign so far. He basically just shows up to, absorb bullets for the rest of the gang because everybody sees him and is just like, that needs to go. That needs to go immediately. And he's not really done a whole lot more than that. He's gotten into like 1 or 2 kaiju battles with another Ambut, and he's never come up on the winning side. So, yeah. But I still love having him there. And there he is, the big brute, my Ambi. And then my leader has managed to get enough renown to have a Caryatid attached to him, which is this weird little psychic familiar that'll just come out of the vents and attach itself to a man of great renown in Necromunda. Now, there's not an official model for it, so I just used the Sisters of Battle. I don't know, Armorium Cherub, I think it is. But yeah, just tried to make him look a little gunky, a little dirty. They're blue skinned, so, painted in blue. And there he is, my little baby man attached to Butch, my leader. And then finally, this little lady here who is just being used as, I don't know, like a token for various mission types. She is from the Kill Team Rogue Trader set that came with like the Galapox infected. Such a cool set. I loved the models. I never actually picked up the whole set because I didn't play Kill Team and I couldn't just, buy that huge box just for a couple of models that I liked. But I managed to pick this chick up on eBay, specifically because I thought she looks perfect for certain missions. So I painted her up for the escort mission because I was like, you know what? She looks just like some fancy pants uphiver who has come down to the slum, down to the hives to slum it and, get an escort through there. And yeah, just so cool with her like Jacobean rough face mask and fancy gold leaf and plasma pistol. Yeah, man, I think she fits the bill perfectly. And there she is. Hell yeah, and that is it. That sums up what I have been doing with my Necromunda gang and with everything in general. There we go. And there it is, another Let's Hobby done. So yeah, I'm super keen to keep getting my dwarves and my orcs and goblins painted. I do have enough stuff to maybe get to 2,000 points with the dwarves now. Orcs and goblins still need some love. I'm committed to at least doing some stuff to vary the list before I film another battle report with them. Hopefully get to 2,000 points, but minimum vary those lists up a bit. But yeah, get those chariots done, maybe a doom diver, and we should be getting pretty close. I've always got more stuff coming through for Necromunda as the gang grows and evolves. I want to paint some more stuff for my 40k Dark Angels. I've got 1,000 points painted now and should have John coming back in soon to have a game with his Sisters of Battle. But yes, only a few more things that I need to paint to get to 1,500 points. Bit more to get to 2,000, then we can start doing the big ones, the big battles. Or at least, again, just enough to vary those lists. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, like, subscribe. Even just liking it does huge things for the video. It starts spreading it out to people that aren't already subscribed, maybe bringing more in. So yeah, just a simple like would do heaps for me, guys. But until next time, I'm Stos. Happy wargaming, and be good to your mother.